Think about a world that has no humans left, a post-human world. Perhaps this world is thriving with lush jungles and creatures flying about. Perhaps this world is rotting and full of garbage. What do you think a world like this would look like? Disney Pixar thought that it might look something like the world imagined in WALL-E. Giant skyscrapers of garbage that are piled to the skyline surround our view for miles upon miles. Blue skies and green grass that humans are so accustomed to have been long gone for hundreds of years. The only evidence of previous human interaction is the occasional newspaper article and a small, seemingly insignificant robot named Wally. Despite his stature, Wally's time on the planet has been anything but insignificant. He's managed to create something that is often considered only accessible by humans: a sense of imagination. This little guy does his best to make meaning in his life through the different pieces of trash he's found across the planet. A hinge on a box that squeaks, the occasional cooking utensil, and of course, other parts from robots. All these things intrigued Wally, and are all things that we can relate to. Just like our version of imagination, Wally takes things that wouldn't normally be seen as significant and comes up with ways to use them, which creates a sense of imagination for his character. A surface-level view of this movie sees the mass amounts of garbage to be directly because of technology, thus exploring the cause of the downfall of humanity. However, because Wall-E is given an imagination, the film doesn't argue that technology is the downfall of humanity. Rather, it argues that this is caused by the use of that technology. Imagination has been a present theme throughout movie history, but almost always it is only correlated with specifically human consciousness. A great example of this is the impact that imagination has on Phil Lord's world in the Lego Movie. The overarching protagonist is revealed about an hour into the movie to be a small child named Finn that is making the story progress. This sense of imagination that was originally given to the master builders of the world, which are small Lego guys, is now placed on the mind of a human, aka Finn. This concept isn't uncommon in Hollywood films, as most senses of imagination are placed onto those humans. By giving a non-human being like this human-like characteristics, Wall-E is able to play with the similarities of robots and humans. Through these similarities, the world is imagined in a post-human sense. Humans have not been a part of the world for a long time, and as such, the things around Wall-E are utterly post-human, as anything that was made by him has not been impacted by humans at all. Rather, it was made through Wall-E's thoughts. The imagination given to our protagonist changes the foundation of our views on technology. Think about how the movie would be different if the main protagonist was just another human rather than this robot. The story of a human imagining better circumstances and changing the world around them for the better. Wall-E might have become another Star Wars or Harry Potter-esque film, and while this may make for an entertaining piece of media, it's the same story that has been told for decades. Rather than place this change in the hands of a human, this movie chooses to do otherwise, which in turn makes an argument for the integration of technology into our society. Our society today is riddled with technology, and some question the necessity of it. This film at surface level sees the downfall of our society due to the mass amounts of tech that is present in each person's life. The Earth is destroyed, with the only remnants being a technological megamart that sold humans anything they wanted. Humans in space don't do anything because they have infinite robots at their beck and call. This problem isn't isolated in this film. The author Yuval Harari does an excellent job of describing this simple predicament in our society today in a few words. We believe that buying more stuff will make us happy because we saw the capitalist paradise with our own eyes on television. The things that are shown to us through technology impact our lives in lots of ways, and often this results in negative consequences for the world. A large portion of society blames the problems we have today on that technology and thus refuses to collaborate on the creation of more of it. That's not really the case, as the fundamental problem isn't technology, it's the use of it. And just like Harari sees in the world around us, this film notices an issue with the incorporation of that technology into our society. By placing human senses on a piece of that tech, the role of technology in all of our lives is presented in such a way that makes viewers wonder how they interact with the things around them. In this instance, the viewers are more prone to root for the non-human protagonist, even though he isn't doing the job that they themselves would have told him to do. This in turn questions the benefits of technology as a whole, and often creates a more positive outlook, as viewers can see the great things that have been made because of it. Many sci-fi movies today portray technology as a naturally destructive being, which tends to lead to a movie that destroys the reputation of advancing technology. Let's take a look at the film Ex Machina, that was directed by Alex Garland. Throughout the movie, the viewers are presented with a positive outlook on artificial intelligence, as both of the humans in the movie are fascinated by it. They choose to interact with it in helpful ways. But despite this, everything goes horribly wrong. As the movie progresses, the AI ends up killing everyone and escapes into human society. This is also not uncommon in Hollywood films, as once again, there have been hundreds of this same idea of a movie created. Wally changes this cookie-cutter story of an evil robot by making a kind, helpful one that is just trying to experience life. By changing the viewpoint from a robot that does negative things to a robot that's just trying to help out, the viewers aren't seeing a world destroyed under the weight of all this advancement, rather a world that is saved because of it. This large change in viewpoint provides a very deep meaning to the film. This film isn't warning humanity of the danger of advancing technology, it's warning them of the ultimate destruction through themselves. Thanks to the imagination given to our protagonist, we are able to see the wonders that come with technology, and of course, the horrors that come with our use of it. We can see the things that Wally imagines, and we know from personal experience that these sparks of creativity are not the culprits of our downfall. Wally shows us that using our advancements in such a way that harms the environment around us is the reason why humanity is collapsing. Instead of placing the blame on something that we created, we should look for ways to improve our surroundings using this amazing tool. Simply changing the way we look at our surroundings provides a more progressive outlook towards technology, and all of this is accomplished through the simple act of imagining.